What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new series called Is He Still Overpowered? So how does this work exactly? Well, this is a new player review series where I look at those players who are overpowered in FIFA 12 Ultimate Team and simply give my verdict of answering the question everyone was asking if these players are still overpowered in FIFA 13 Ultimate Team. So it's pretty straightforward, and today we are going to go over David Luiz. As you all know, this guy is severely overpowered in FIFA 12 Ultimate Team, just too overpowered that, he's the best defender in the game, to be honest with you. Despite, many other cards being extremely expensive in his position, he's always the one who's going to be the cheap alternative to any centre-back. So let's take a look at David Luiz's stats. First of all, he's Brazilian, plays in the centre-back role obviously, plays for Chelsea in the Belgian Premier League, and cost me 3,000 coins. And he also has 3-star weak foot ability and skill moves, high attacking work rate and medium defensive work rate, and also his top in-game stats are on the bottom right corner of the screen. So I know what you're thinking, oh god, he has a high attacking work rate. Luckily for me, it doesn't really show up in game, but we'll get onto that later. So let's first take a look at David Luiz's on-card stats, and he has 78 pace and heading, 71 passing and dribbling, and 77 defending and 65 shooting. And before I get onto the review, I just want to quickly say, as this is my first defender player review on my channel, I'll be quickly telling you what I'll be going over and what I really look in the defender. So first I'll be going over heading, then followed by interceptions, sliding and standing tackle, strength, and also any other attributes which make him tick. So now onto David Luiz's in-game stats, and I won't be reading out every single stat in parrot fashion as there's quite a lot, but I'll just be reading the stats which stand out for me the most in game. So this first of all is 82 heading, 77 marking, 78 sliding tackle, and 82 standing tackle. So let's begin with the review. And he has well placed headers actually, very good headers, great accuracy in his headers as well. He's actually never headed the ball to the opposition, I've noticed, or even headed the ball wide. Most of his headers have actually consisted from clearances, which have landed to my players, which is great as well, which is a bonus. But on the other hand, I wouldn't really say there's much power in his headers, but at the same time there's just enough power for it to land to my players' feet. And his interceptions really isn't the best I've experienced with David Luiz. Don't get me wrong, he has made some fantastic interceptions, but at times he has been caught out and has had many opportunities to intercept the ball, but he just stood there and has allowed the attacker to pass him with ease, which is not really what you want from a defender at all. But so overall, I would say in terms of his interceptions, it's a bit hit and miss really. At times he'll perform some great interceptions and time them well, and other times he'll just stand there and let the attacker pass him with ease without even attempting to intercept the ball at all. But his sliding tackles on the other hand is his best attribute of him. What I actually mean by this, when you actually perform the sliding tackle, or most defenders, when you're controlling them, some of them perform it a little late, which is too much as it fouls the opponent. But with David Luiz on the other hand, whenever I did perform it, he will just perform it straight away as soon as I tap it. And this is just enough time for him to get the ball without fouling the opponent. And that's exactly what you want from him really. His standing tackle on the other hand is not as consistent and good as his other attributes, but at times for me has made some fantastic standing tackles, but I would say that he's much better at his sliding tackles for sure, simply because of his consistency and timing when doing them. One thing I noticed when I was performing standing tackles, that his timing was so bad that most of the time he would just stand there and the actual tackle would get past him, then he would eventually attempt a sliding tackle, and he performed his standing tackles so late that it just clearly showed up, and it was a very bad sign for me. But if I performed the sliding tackle instead, I strongly believe that I would have had a higher chance of getting the ball than if I just performed the standing tackle, which is a shame for me as his interceptions and standing tackle don't go well hand in hand, to be honest with you. And his strength isn't really the best of attributes for Luiz either. I didn't really notice his strength to be outstanding, but on the other hand I won't say that it's poor, it's nothing special to over about, to be honest with you, and it's not weak either. So it's in the middle for me, not too strong, not too weak, just in the middle, just perfect, just enough for it to be not a disadvantage. And I've also noticed David Luiz's pace is not the best either, especially considering his on-card stats. The likes of Dede, is much faster and also better overall. Also his positioning is a bit hit and miss as well, and I believe this is because of his high attacking work rate, because he only has a high attacking work rate and medium defensive work rate. But luckily his high attacking work rate doesn't show up in game, as it's more, if he was had a high attacking work rate, he would be caught out of position many more times than he was for me, because I was only caught out of position a few times. But David Luiz was at the back most of the time, which is great. But he could do with a high defensive work rate for me, but you can change it in game, which is great. and I'll give him as a player rating, I'll give him a 4 stars out of 5. Reason being is his interception and his standing tackle does let him down, mainly because they aren't consistent and he can get caught out by the timing of these actions by the opponent quite easily as well. And a value of money, I'll give him a 5-star rating, and you may be quite shocked with this, so I'll explain why I've given him this rating. The reason being for me is that you get what you pay for him, because he's only 3,000 coins at the end of the day, and he does do his job as a defender at the end of the day as well. But I would recommend other players you should get instead of David Luiz, such as Dede, Felipe Santana and Thiago Silva. Well, on the other hand, I haven't used Felipe Santana or Thiago Silva yet, but I've heard many great things about them, especially Thiago Silva. I've heard that he's very overpowered, so I've got to look into getting him before finishing my Brazilian squad. But I'll talk a bit more about Dede, who I have used in my latest Liga do Brazil squad. He cost me around 7,000 coins, just under actually, and overall he is better than David Luiz in my opinion. So if you're building a Brazilian hybrid, I'd recommend you get Dede over Luiz. Maybe try out 3 at the back, Dede, Felipe Santana and Thiago Silva, and just let me know what you think, because I'm really intrigued. I'm sure them 3 would be a deadly combo in the defence. So now on to the main question, is he still overpowered in FIFA 13 Ultimate Team? My answer being yes, but he has been toned down majorly in FIFA 13 Ultimate Team, as on FIFA 12 he was just so good, like he was unstoppable really. Regardless of their price, and even if they were team of the season, David Luiz was still a better alternative. But considering David Luiz's price, he's worth the buy as he's only 3,000 coins, which is not going to break the bank at all. But if you compare it to other Brazilian defenders, there are better options out there, which I said below. My recommendation is to go with Dede and the other 2 players which I recommended. But it's up to you, you can still try out David Luiz, you might find him better than I did. But please do let me know in the comments below or on Twitter if you have used David Luiz. I'd really like to know what you think of him. Also, please do let me know if any other players who you felt was overpowered at FIFA 12 Ultimate Team for me to review next in my series. I hope you enjoyed the review and also the concept of the series, as I haven't seen anyone do this series as of yet on YouTube. I do hope you enjoyed the first episode of this brand new series. Please do leave a like rating if you did, and also feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube as well, and feel free to follow me on Twitter. The link is down in the description below, and have a great day gents and take care.